You know that I'm not going to speak to you.
Yes, so how are we going to record this Inside Line Formula 1 podcast?
Look the other way. Look at the ball. And I look that side. And you imagine all the things you saw in Monaco. And I will imagine the tiles on my toilet because that's what I saw when you were in Monaco. Can you believe that? Guys, this is solo podcast. The Inside Line F1 brought to you by Rishi Kapoor only. Why? Because while we were supposed to do all of this, my friend Kunal Shah was in Monaco, in Monte Carlo, having a good time.
I was at work and you can see all the pictures that I'm going to put up.
You know, working with Sutil on the track and trying to touch the tarmac is work.
Yes, touch the tarmac it is.
Yes.
Let me tell you, I drove through the tunnel.
You drove through the tunnel?
Yes, I was driven through the tunnel.
Get out!
I was lucky enough that I went through the swimming pool complex. I walked through Raskas all through the weekend.
Ooh.
I didn't go through Saint Devote, but I saw it. And let's move on. Let's continue. Come on.
Oh God, am I jealous or am I jealous? My name is Rishi Kapoor. Kunal Shah gets together every Monday, sometimes a little more lucky on a Sunday, and then we come to the Inside Line F1. This is about the post-Monaco, post-mortem, if I may call it, because race of events, race of stories, race of controversies, race of Rosberg.
Race of Rosberg and race of Mercedes. And he really proved that he may not be a world champion, but he is a world champion material. I mean, he delivered on the only weekend Mercedes could have dreamed of winning, and they did.
And Hamilton made a mistake.
Yes, he did.
Hamilton made a mistake, fell too back behind Rosberg, trying to make a gap for a pit stop, made a bigger gap than required, and then ended up being from second to fourth in a matter of seconds. Namely, the biggest thing that everybody's been talking about is, yes, the big news, Mercedes having done the hidden test.
Yes, the Mercedes hidden test. I mean, I don't know what... Yes, it's a controversy, no doubt. Mm-hmm. But Formula 1 has always been about controversies.
Absolutely.
I'm not surprised we've seen one this year as well. Okay.
Mm.
And also by an 8 times world champion by the name of Rosberg. He's a veteran of knowing how to make things work, pushing the limits, pushing the boundaries, and everything else. And I'm guessing given that Nico Rosberg could have almost lost the race to a bird hit, in the next time Mercedes is going to test with dummy birds as well. So
the Pirelli P0, actually the P stands for parakeets and parrots and pigeons, is what they're going to test with. An undue advantage is what Mercedes is being black flagged in the eyes of so many F1 fans and teams, and people are being talking about them. The tyre that they're going to be using in Canada is the tyre they tested. No matter how anonymous it was still on their cars, on the current cars. So are they going to move backwards now or still remain in the winning position? Because Monaco is a different game and Canada is a totally different one.
Yeah, you know, Monaco you can't overtake. Canada you can keep overtaking. That's one.
Yes.
And up until now, or up until Canada, one will never know if the win in Monaco was coincidental to the secret test. Okay. And my gut feeling is that Mercedes is probably going to go backwards. I'm purely taking from the view of two things. First is Vettel said they were like silver buses rather than silver arrows. Okay. And of course, their race pace allowed Paul de Resta to put on a stellar drive from 17th and actually finish higher up in the points. I mean, that was a commendable drive. But it was aided by the fact that the overall race pace because of the Mercedes-Benz cars was slow.
Yes, Mr. Mathematics, you are absolutely correct. I'm going to give it to you, but still my man for Sahara Force India F1 was Adrian Sutil. Adrian should grow his hair.
Grow his hair?
Yeah.
Why?
Because he loves hairpins. He overtook two champions on hairpins.
Yes, indeed. What stellar overtaking moves.
How could he make space for cars? I mean, it's not possible. That is the slowest corner in F1.
Yes.
Good Lord, those moves. I'm sure, everybody is arguing whether Perez's moves made better TV or Adrian's did, but Adrian's got better result and Perez's didn't.
No, he drove like a man possessed. And when I saw him in the motorhome, and, he was just so focused on delivering a good result, and I'm so glad that he did.
So you saw him in the motorhome, huh? Show off.
Okay,
Okay, moving on. We had to visit our two very favorite characters in the paddock.
Woohoo!
The names are back. Crush John and Crush Ronaldo. I mean, this time it wasn't actually Maldonado's fault.
Yes, it wasn't. A little unfortunate. He's given it to a lot of people and he finally got it this time.
Karma.
But I'm glad he walked out safe because that was a scary crash.
That was scary, man.
Okay. And talking of Crash John, I mean, out of the 6 sessions that you have on a Formula 1 weekend, he's crashed in 4 of them. and he's probably used up all his front wings that were there in spare. Okay, and I'm glad Kimi didn't crash any more of those times. Maybe they went on the radio and, they would have told him that, Kimi, don't crash. At least if you do, not the front wing, because Romans used all of them up.
I think he took the word overtake literally. He actually went over the Toro Rosso.
Daniel Ricciardo.
Yeah, Ricciardo was like, woo, there's a plane above my head.
Actually overtook another car is what they would have thought.
It's just funny, these kind of things happen in F1. We talk about them, and my heart goes out to Raikkonen because I thought he was in for a very decent result. And he could have got some points.
He got a point, and I'm really pissed at the TV producer. I don't know what to do with him. From 16th or 15th, Raikkonen charged with those super softs to 10th place. And I still haven't seen it on TV. I have tried looking for it on YouTube and I haven't found it. I really want to see what would he have done to overtake 5-6 cars in a span of 3-4 laps to actually go ahead and get that point from Hülkenberg.
Talking about drivers we didn't see on TV, which is the one driver I missed on TV? Massa, because he wasn't there.
Talking of Felipe Massa, I was really hopeful for a good weekend for him. Like, you and I always have this sympathy thing. Oh, Massa.
Oh, we're praying.
But that man has really learned a lot from Michael Schumacher in his days of Ferrari. And the best that he's learned, in my view, is how to crash in the same place, same time, in the same way.
Yes, what my friend Kunal is here referring to is Michael's crashes in Singapore in the same turn, behind the same car. And in a very similar manner, where Michael was caught sleeping and he slammed his brakes and then slammed the car ahead. So here's the deal. We are going to open a contest here. And the contest is where you tell us, where did Massa do a similar feat of crashing on the same corner at the same weekend on the same track before this? And he's done it once before. A track that you should know very well is the only amount of hint I'm going to give you. In case you need to answer our contest, wherever you're listening to us, whether it's YouTube, you can leave a comment, whether it's SoundCloud, whether it's on Kunal's
Anyway, we're there on every social media now.
Social media. Sign us up on Twitter. Our handles are
at Kunal A. Shah.
And it's at RJ Rishi Kapoor. They are confusing spellings, but very, very simple people that love talking about Formula 1. Canada is coming up. The pre-Grand Prix, the preview podcast is going to be up in a few days. Till then, you still went to Monaco. I'm not talking to you. Look the other side.
See you around.